Hi, everybody. June here from Red Daisy Crafts. It's Sunday, September 14th, and I'm so glad to be here today to do some paper crafting with all of you. And I do have some fun things planned. I mentioned last week that I wasn't sure if we would continue to play with the Farmhouse Florals or if we would try an exclusive, but we're going to continue. I have two alternates, kind of funfold alternates for you today. And so I am hopeful that I will have a few people joining me. I see a few people coming on. So before we get started, I have a few things trying to fall out of their spot. Before we get started, I just want to mention that we this week, hopefully, my box will arrive with the Fall for 12 kit. I'm super excited about this kit. I cannot tell you how much I'm excited about it because I am loving the alternate the options for alternates because there's so many coordinating products, and the DSP paper that's available and the dies, and so I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to play with it. Hi, Wanda. Great to have you joining today. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, you have a very warm, sunny day. It's been a little warm here still. I'm looking forward to the cooler temps. We've had a little bit of cooler mornings, but not we're not seeing a whole lot of cooler weather yet. I went to the first football game on Friday. It was 100 degrees at that game. When we were driving home, it was like 87. So, I'm ready whenever it wants to show up. So, so again, we're excited for the Fall for 12. And then, of course, I want to just mention, like they've already announced, the October kit is called Cozy Christmas. It's heartfelt Christmas cards with a classic charm. That I have seen some of the sneak peeks, and there is some like flocked like velvet paper in there, and so I'm super excited about that. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but these dies down here, I cannot wait to get them. There's a tag die, one that says joy. There's two different kind of leaves and like a little sprig, a flower sprig, and then a little flower as well. So I think those are going to be fantastic. So October is Cozy Christmas. It's 9 cards. The colors are basic beige, cherry cobbler, garden green, pecan pie, all classic colors. So I'm loving that. And then in November, we will have something called Wrapped in Cheer. And it makes 8 projects. There's tags and coordinating boxes. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I haven't seen a whole lot on it, but it looks really fun. Those colors are basic beige, cherry cobbler, and mossy meadow with an old olive ink spot. Oh, and in October, the ink spot is real red. So I'm loving that we have these like very traditional colors coming for the holiday kits that are coming out to us. And then of course December will be kind of a hint towards just winter, and it is called Watercolor in Bloom. And it has a lot of blue hues with copper. And so I think that that's going to be gorgeous as well. So we have been playing for a couple of weeks now with this kit. I'm going to put us down to the table. We're just going to take a look at what we've done, and then we're going to get started on what I have for you today. All right, so as you know, the kit came out, and these are the cards that the kit was intended to make, and they're beautiful, and you can make these just as they are. But we have played around and came up with um, some additional alternates over the last few weeks. I think the first one we made was this one. I'm not going to remember the order that I made all of these, so forgive me on that. But this was a really cute card, very simple on the inside. One of the great things about this kit is all the sentiments that are in here. This was a really fun one that we made, and it is just splitting the typewriter. It's a little easel card, and basically the same, but some differences between the two. So very, very fun. Then this one I made offline and shared this in the group. But this is like a little Z fold with that window image. Here is another little kind of a fun fold here that we made. This is one where we brought in some additional ribbon, and we cut flowers off of the DSP that was in the Painterly Pears, and just again some fun fun add-ons. We brought this ribbon in. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here we did some embossing and brought in some of the DSP and brought in those colors. This was from last week, and I loved bringing in the Fresh Freesia velvet ribbon that we had. And then of course I had my fun blunder last week, and totally messed up on this, but came back, redeemed myself. I still think I need to post the video on YouTube. I'm not sure if I have. I don't think I have. But this card came out really, really cute, and it folds both ways. You know, you can go in it'll go in the card this way, or it'll go in the card this way. It doesn't really matter. It has some nice stuff on the back. So there is a tutorial for this. It's already been posted in my Facebook group, but anyway, last week was quite fun because I just totally had a train wreck. And then we did make this really cute box last week and incorporated some of the DSP from Painterly Pears. So this week we are going to be doing a couple of fun folds. And I got these ideas. I can't remember her name, but they are, I think she's known as the Sunny Stamper. And so I am looking forward to sharing some of these ideas with you in my own fashion. Okay. And so the very first one is, I guess, I'm not sure what this would be called. I guess it's a form of Z-fold, but this is what it looks like. And this is the card. All right. And I just think this is fun. I liked some of the ideas that she shared, so I'm looking forward to sharing some of that with you as well. And I made some of my own little DSP here. I'll show you how that is. And so just really fun card here that we'll make. So the first thing is that I want to talk about is, how did I get this shape? Okay. And so I'm going to give you an example of how I got the shape. And so as a matter of fact, let me just grab here a piece of a full sheet of cardstock just so I can go through it with you, because it really isn't very hard. It's just a matter of, yeah, that's exactly right. I think that's exactly right. And you just literally mark your paper at the 3-inch mark up here, and then you flip it around. Okay. and you mark it at the 3-inch mark at this end, and then you line up the 2 spots, and then you take a cut. Okay, and that is how you get the pieces. And you will get 2 card bases out of it. Okay, and then you're going to score on the long edge. You're going to score at 3 inches and then 6 3/4 inches, and it folds up like this. Okay, or to be honest, it can go this way, and I think I have the sample going one way and I have the other one going the other way, that we'll make just so you can see how it can be folded in either direction. Oh, how funny. You made this today. It's really, really a fun card. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I had to take it up and go with it myself. And I thought immediately, I was like, oh, I think I could do that with the kit. So that's what I love to do, is just try and figure out how to bring the idea over to the kit. Okay, so once you have your card base, which we have ours right here, ready to roll. Okay, and I'm just gonna try and set this over here for us. You are going to have to cut a large, medium, and small piece. And so this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then this piece is, let me tell you, this piece is 3 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 inch. And I have 2 pieces that I cut. So one on the front and one on the back. And then you have this last piece, which I'm calling the small. This piece is 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. And those are the pieces that you need in order to make this card. All right, then we're going to do some cutting. And the way that she described it, I thought was brilliant. But she basically takes the corner of this piece and matches it up to the top corner on the panel that we're creating the layer for. And so you're just going to line it up there. And let's see here. If my eyes will work, I got to put my glasses on for this because I can't see. All right, so you're just going to line this up with the corner and get it on the straight edge there. And there we go. All right. And basically you can see there, you've got your even border there. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to cut it. Now, I have my paper snips here, and so I'm just taking them and going right along the edge. You know, I was tempted to draw the line, but it's been pretty easy to make it work. Okay, and then you can see, like, once you move that down, it's got a perfect border around it. So I thought this was a great tip, right? All right, so then we're going to do the middle section here, and that was a little easier to line up. Of course, I have my glasses on, and that makes the difference. So now we're going to do 2 layers here, and one is going to be for the inside and one is going to be for the outside. Okay, and again, that is going to go there. And then it doesn't really matter if I did it on the outside or the inside, because this is the same on both sides. So I don't have a pattern that I'm working towards. And so I can cut straight from here. Okay. And so I've got my 2 pieces there for the middle section. And then the last thing is the small section here. And so we're just getting that lined up. with the edge. And there we go. Now this piece I have already embossed, and I'm using a part of the envelope for this piece. So you might have noticed that this piece here was part of the cardstock from the kit. And this piece here is gray granite. Okay. Now the thing I did on this is, and this is a retired 3D embossing folder, but you might have it called Eyelet. And what I totally loved about this is that it's basically the same design that the stamp is in this kit, and a lot of the other images have this other similar design. And so I just couldn't resist. So I pulled that out. Hopefully you might have one. If you don't, I actually have a spare because we accidentally got two. But I just thought that was perfect for this. Okay. And so we have our pieces. They are cut. And they're going to go together. The card base, the like kind of off-white one, this is going to be the lineup for the inside. Okay. And then the outside, when it folds together, this piece is going to be out here. And this is the gray granite. Okay. And we're going to do some stamping on there, just like I showed you in my sample here. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for joining. So happy to have you with us tonight. Where are you stamping from? Where do you live? I am in San Antonio, Texas. So we are going to, we're going to do some stamping on those things. We are not going to stamp on here. Just so you know, like what I did here is that I did cut as close to this edge of the flower of the bag before I cut off my 4 inches, only to make sure that I had proper layout. Okay, because I really wanted the flower to show on this outside edge. Do you see how we have the flower coming here and the flower, because the typewriter on this one got cut off. Now we're doing something different on the one here, but I wanted those flowers to show up on that card base. Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay. So let's see. I also have die cut some of the hellos, and I've been trying to decide which ones to use. So we'll have to figure that out. But I did use some of the Painterly Pears DSP, the one that is the Secret Sea with, I think it's the Lemon Lime Twist, or maybe it is the yellow, the new in color yellow that I cannot think of the name. It's just totally escaped me. Oh my goodness, can't think of it. Somebody will tell me, I'm sure. Oh, hi. Oh, fun. I love it. We went to Utah for our honeymoon many years ago, but loved it. So I have to decide which ones I'm layering up. I may, if I can, do all 3 if I can make it work, but anyway, we're going to play around with that as we go along. So I think we should do some stamping next, just to get this piece going. And then I also, okay, so we just need to stamp on these 2 pieces. And I have my messy paper here for runoff things. So this one, we're getting a sentiment on here. So if the front says hello, what do we want the inside of our card to say? And I'm trying to figure out, where did I put my stamps? Oh, they're hiding right here. All right, so what does this one say? Thank you for your constant friendship and listening ear. I think that's perfect. We'll use this on the inside of our card. So I'm just going to grab one of my blocks that I can get my hands on. And let's go ahead and get our secret C. We'll get our message put on to here. Make this straight. There we go. And then I think I did a few flowers on here. So let's go ahead and do that. I thought it looked cute. And all I did was ink it up once. And then I did a second generation and a third generation. And that's all I did. So that's going to go there. All right. And then we have to do this one. And this one I used the teapot and I used the flower image. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't get ink on it accidentally. And this was kind of a fun thing. I just made my own kind of DSP with it. So I started at the bottom here and went off of my gray granite. And then I didn't give this like all the heavy coverage. I just let it be a little bit splotchy. So not full ink. And then on the flowers, I mean, and then I came up just a little bit, tilted my teapot a different direction, and then did that again. And then we are going in this direction. Then I kind of move it around. Okay. And so for here, might go kind of in that center spot and put our flower on here like so. And then we're going to have our teapot coming off this way. And we'll add the flowers to that. Like so. And then because this is at the bottom, I'm going to just add the flower down there. And I think that is good. Perfect. All right. So what other, okay, I think that's all the stamping on this one. So let me just move that out of the way. Get our stamps out of the way here and our ink. And so it can bring things back in and start to do our layers. So my favorite is always the oh, Darling Duckling. Yes, that's the color. That is with that Secret C. It's kind of like a little grid paper looking. It's the lines of the grid or the Darling Duckling in that Secret C. All right, so I'm going to move these little trash pieces out of the way, get my bone folder, smooth that out. Okay, and then we have this piece here. So Wanda, you say you made this card earlier today. Did you use the kit or did you make it with something else? You'll have to share. Love to see it. Okay, and then this piece is going to go right here. Now, anytime you have embossed like this, you know, you always want to make sure you get good glue coverage, which is one of the reasons why I like using multi-purpose liquid glue, because it gets in the grooves. And make sure that you get good coverage. So just do this like so. And then we're going to add this one. Oh, I did this earlier. look how it needs to go. I did that same thing earlier. You would think I would learn. All right, back to stamping a second. Why do we do this to ourselves? All right, now we can have a different layout. It's all good. There's no harm, right? Oh, you use some to retire paper? Yeah. I've never really watched much of her videos before, but that looked like something I could use for this kit. And so I'm really glad I found it because I think it came out really cute. And maybe different from what others have been doing, which I always like, you know, to try and bring something different. It's always my goal. All right, now I'm gonna add some flowers down here, like so. And I think I might add a little edge of a teapot right here. That's fine. I think if I can, I'm gonna just do a tiny bit right there. There we go. There we go. That's what we're gonna have. All right, now we'll do this again. So practice, right? We're just practicing. Very fun. All right, so I also die cut some of the flowers from the quarterly die cuts that I thought we might use, but I have some of the die cuts from the kit out here as well. But I have the Calypso Coral, and I have some of the DSP from that Painterly Pears. That one has that Darling Duckling and then also Petal Pink in it. And this one is Petal Pink and Calypso Coral, or I guess it could be just a lighter generation of Calypso Coral, but they all kind of work together. And not sure how much or what I need yet, but you know, we'll probably add a few here onto that piece, which is what I did with the other one. So I think that'll be fun. Now I have the circle die also. This is in Calypso Coral, and I thought I would add the typewriter on here. But I wasn't going to put the little paper in. Like I wasn't planning to stamp anything on that paper because I have the hello that I want to put on here. But I still think I might add the paper just for fun. Okay. So I'm going to put it down a little bit lower. And we're going to add some dimensionals on there. Still using up this giant piece of that we got in one of the kits. I don't remember which one. I don't think it was this one, but fun. Now I am going to just cut off a little strip and put it right here. Just tack that down a little bit more. So we'll have that. That's going to go on to the Calypso circle. Now, what I wanted to figure out was, what do I want here? So, and maybe you guys can help me decide, but I like the idea of having two shades. So let's see how it looks. Right? So we're going to have our thing on here, and then we're going to add our hello. But I'm kind of wondering, do I just want the black, not the black, but the secret C on here? Do I want to highlight it? Or I could do it the other way around, which might be better. It's hard to do it with it before you glue it down, but that might be good because it ties into the secret C back here. But I also like the light on there. I don't know what this fold is called. Some kind of Z fold. Let's see. I do have it. Angle stand up. It's called an angle stand up. Anybody have an opinion on the hello? What color? Should be on top. Should it have a highlight? I have white, I have the Secret Sea, and I have the Lost Lagoon. And I am trying to decide. I really think I like the Secret Sea. Try the white as the middle. Oh, good idea. I think that looks pretty good. Yep, I think so. All right. It's going to be a little tedious to get them all lined up well, but I think that's the plan. All right, so I have my little fine tip glue here, and let me get all the pieces poked out because I just noticed this is not. So get that out of the way. All right, so I'm going to just put some glue on here on this edge. And we're going to do our best to get this in the right spot. Oh, I'm going to get all quiet because trying to concentrate. That did good. All right, now we just have to add the black or the Secret Sea now. All right. It's hard to tell where the glue is going because it's on the white. All right, here we go. There we go. Oh, looks really good. I'm glad. Thanks for the suggestion. Love it when y'all participate. All right, get this moved over. Nice. Very nice. Looks nice, huh? Very good. All right, so that's our hello. So we're going to have our circle on here, and our typewriter is going to go right towards the bottom of that. like so. And our hello is going to be right up here. So maybe the typewriter will go right at the bottom of the circle, so there's room for that. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. All right, so let's put our, let me close up my glue. I didn't close it up the other night and then I was in trouble. Who's done that? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I hate it whenever I don't remember to put the cap on that. I've got to go find a pin. Now I have one. I have my own little kit over here now with pins and everything, so I can get that cleaned out. All in my little setup here. So helpful. All right, so we are going to move this down towards the bottom. And just this piece will be out the top. Then the little hello is going to go right there. Now, because I have made so many layers, I had thought about popping it up. Like this one, I did put it on dimensionals, but here, I think because I have all the layers, I don't necessarily need to do that. But what I know is that I don't need glue on all of this. So I really want to keep it below here. So we're going to just be careful about where we place the glue, right? All right. So now we just have this right here. Oh, that looks good. What do you think? I love it because the flowers are popping out over here. And so now we just need to add some flowers. And I have my little gems here we're going to use to put in the centers on those. So let's see. I used on this one, I had put one here, and I used this one up here, like so. I put one of them down here. Now I think I have another. Where is that? Did I put it in the box already? I think I did. Let me get to my box. Oops. Throwing little pieces out. All right. I want one more of those little calypso coral flowers. Or do I have more than one? I guess we'll grab one of these. I dropped some of my flowers. So before I forget, I want to grab those. All right, so I think we're going to have one of these on here. We're going to add those, and I don't know. I think that will do it. I'm not sure if I need all of that. All right, let's go ahead and put these on first. So I did kind of try to give them a little bit of a poof. Doesn't always stay, but it at least makes the paper think we want it to stand up. So I am going to just put this around the outside edge there. And this one's going to go right here at the edge. And then this one, we're going to put it right up here. And then we'll add the Darling Duckling flower right here. And we'll put a Calypso Coral one in the middle of there. Oops. Yeah. So those are all properly placed. So if you can see there, that's what those look like. And we're going to put some centers on them. All right, then thought we would add this one on here. I guess we could put it right here. Just put it right there. And then we'll add these with the stems going out. We'll add those right here, but I am going to put a tiny little piece of dimensional on the edge right here so that it can grab a hold of it. And then we'll add just a little bit of glue here, like that. Just like so. I know I'm kind of thinking I might like to add these up here. I think so. Why not? I have them, right? I'm going to just tuck them right in there. I think that cute. All right. So then before I stick those on, I was thinking I would add some wink because I kept thinking about it earlier when I was doing this, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to just splatter this with some wink. I could even go over my hello. Hadn't thought of that, but I do now think that would look good. Add just a little something something to that. And I'm going to go on this one as well. All right. So before we finish this, we're going to just add some of those gems. And these are from the Low Profile Sparkle Dots. And I just think they give these flower centers that much more fun. And just bring in all the colors, especially to this gray granite piece, because it's kind of out of place. It matches, but it just, without something, it feels a little dull. All right, so I think that is it. So there's our first card. Isn't that fun? I don't know if you see that or not, but I really like how it came out. Wink's the best embellishment. Yeah. And I love it on the hello. I don't know how much you can see that, but it's really nice. Perfect. All right, so that was our little sample. This one we made. I just think they came out really cute. Another way to use the cards and the pieces in the kit. So, all right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. The next one is fun too. I got the idea at the same place. I don't think it was recent though that she did it, but let's take a look. And I'm doing it a little bit different this time. So this is the card. The card doesn't necessarily like open up in this sense, okay? But you have a place on the back to write, all right? And then it opens up like this, and it's a little gift card holder on the inside of here. All right, now you could decorate this, but I didn't. I didn't think I needed to. But I thought this was a really fun card. And I ended up trimming this off and like using the die cut of the typewriter to go on top of the place where the typewriter was. Isn't that so cute? And then just added the flowers like that. So we're going to do something similar to this one, but a little bit different because I'm going to use the handbag. And we'll see how that comes out. So I'll just set this right up here. All right, so for this one, we have some die cuts out. I think there are still other flowers here somewhere, or maybe I already moved them up here. All right, so we're gonna start with, so this one I used pecan pie all the way through, but here I'm gonna use some different things. So I thought, okay, well, we'll see how that comes out because this looks very clean and very like constant. So I wanted to see what it would look like if we changed that up a little bit. So we are starting with a card base of gray granite, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 standard. We have the piece that will go on the back, okay, and I'm using one of the card bases that's opposite of the card base with the bag. Just like over here, I used the one that was opposite of the typewriter, okay, and so that'll go on the back. And then I brought in the cloud cover. I haven't used cloud cover really because I guess because they there's no ink, or I won't say there's no ink, but I don't have a lot of ink because of the issue they had. So I really haven't like gravitated towards it, even though I love the color itself. So I thought, okay, well, it kind of coordinates with the Secret Sea and the gray granite and the Lost Lagoon. I'm still debating if I think it coordinates. But I thought, okay, well, let's try that. So on this one, I had just the card base piece that I cut out, and then I did some stamping on it. I don't know if you can see that. I did like a little bit of an angled stamping on the corners just to bring in that eyelet stamp, okay, because I wanted to use the eyelet paper from the envelope on the inside of here, okay. This piece that was used back here was again that eyelet 3D embossing folder, same as this one, but this piece came from an envelope. So that was what was used there. And this piece came from an envelope, and then this is just some cardstock of the Lost Lagoon that I used to just have a little extra layering piece. I don't know if you can see that very well. And so on this one, I have the embossed cloud cover to go on the gray granite. All right. And then we're going to layer on the Secret Sea, okay, And then instead of having the framed out piece, I thought, well, I'm just going to use the bag. Okay. And this did not get trimmed exactly right. On the inside, I cut the window, same as here. Okay. So I loved that. Just another way to use that. And in here, I also have a piece for here to just have another place to put a gift card. All right. And I could put this in here if I wanted for the gift card. So that was one of the other things I thought about. So I have this plan to go here, but it's really, I'm just noticing like I've got to put something down here. And maybe I'll use this for the sentiment. My other thought is I could trim a little bit off. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just trim a little off and then it'll be more centered on that space. Somehow I did not trim exactly right. So I think I need about a 1/4 inch taken off of here. I actually think it like centers the bag then. So that probably works the best now. So now that's centered on there. And then I thought I would just add kind of how the first card in the kit worked. It would add these elements to it with dimensionals. Okay. And then I have the little tag and we make this a little thank you card with some of the linen thread. So not a lot of stamping, so I need the thank you there, and then something for the back before we start to put all this together. So let me grab my foam mat here, and let's see. I don't think I have the thank you stamp out yet, so let me grab that. And what should we put on the back of it? We have always here for you. What does this one say? For a great friend. Let's do that. For a great friend, but I don't know if I want thank you. I might just do XOXO on that little tag. I think that will look cute. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to clean some of these so I don't get out any more blocks because I don't need them. And that way I can use the block I already have out for this. And actually I might switch these around. This one's a little bigger, but I don't want a giant block for a little XO. Doesn't do good with my steadiness, if you know what I mean. Wink Stella is the best embellishment. I agree. All right, here we go. XOXO. Very, very cute. All right, so we'll have that. And then on here, we're going to do this. For a great friend. And then let's go ahead and add some of those flowers like we did. Now, I might put a few more on here. There we go. And for fun, let's add our little eyelet at the bottom. Here we go. I might have to stop and take a drink. There we go. Perfect. All right, let me get a little drink. Thank you. All right, so that's going to go on the back. And I think that's all our stamping. I don't think I need this for this. I got this on the right way. There we go. And let's put our card together. I'm going to pop this out. We'll get that out of the way. And we'll start with our base. All right. This is really coming out cute. I think it's going to be fine with all the different colored layers and not the same tone all the way framing all the pieces, right? I think that was my concern, is that it wouldn't look good, but I think it's going to work out. We'll see very soon, won't we? All right. So I'm curious, has anybody made the haunted house from last year? I finally got one, and I had one, and then I sold it because somebody wanted it last year and they had sold out. So I was like, oh, it's okay. You like the colored layers? Oh, thank you. I'm thinking about doing a live with the making the haunted house. I just didn't know if people have made it already or not. I haven't made mine, and I thought that might be fun for those that haven't made theirs yet. All right, I think I'm going to put this down first. I think that's what I did last time, was went ahead and put that down. And I make sure I get a good amount of glue on here because I want it to adhere into our little eyelet embossing. I think that's straight. You got one last year but haven't made it. Yeah, I feel like that may have happened to a lot of people like myself, and so I really want to make one. And well, my goodness, did I just totally do that wrong way? I did. Well, I guess we can open it this way, just like the other one. That's not a problem, I don't think. All right. Glad I didn't totally screw that up. All right, so we have our little window that's going to go on here. And like so. So then the gift card will go right here, and we will go ahead and use this just as a little extra fun on here. And then give that a good mush. All right, so this piece is going to go right here. And I'm just putting a little glue right on the edge. For the gift card holder. And let's just give it a whirl. Perfect. I love it. I love it. All right, so now we have this piece that we're going to put on here like so. And then we will add all the extra. Okay, very fun. At first, I wasn't very excited about cutting all of these and taking off like the edges, but I've gotten okay with it, you know, and I think it's okay that we've done that. All right, so where did the little, oh, I was going to say the strap was here a second ago. All right, so we are going to put this on dimensionals and add it. And this little guy is going to go on dimensionals too. Now, I think before, I think I've used up all my linen, but I have this gray granite twine that I think I'm going to use just because it'll tie in. And so I'm just going to trim off a piece of that. And we're going to add it to here. But I'm going to do like how I did before. We're just going to put it on with the little glue dot. Need to get over just a little bit more. There we go. Nice. All right. I think I had a few glue dots I found because I still am lazy and haven't brought any in. All right, so we're going to need some dimensionals cut for our little handles. Let me get my little scissors here. So about that wide. One right there. And then one right there. I think that you don't see those. Just got to do a little trim on that. There we go. All right, so we're just going to add our little strap onto here like so. And then here's our little tag. So I'm just going to add it right there. Just curling that up. Should have done it before I stuck it down, but I didn't. All All right, now here's the back one. Perfect. So that's how that's going to look. Okay. All right, then we're going to add this with some dimensionals, and I'm going to go ahead and use some of my edge since I was already cutting. All right, so we're going to have one there and one up here, one down here, one in this corner. Just making sure I'm not putting anywhere I already have them. Okay. All right. So get our little edges off. Get the covers off of these. And let's add this like so. Oh, very cute. Now, I don't think I actually burnished these score lines, so let me just do that while we're at this point so it'll lay a little bit better. If it will. There we go. Much better. There we have it. XOXO. Whoops, I want to fold it that way. That's the inside. You have a gift card and it flips over that way. It's not a very comfortably opening card because it's not flipping the right way, but it's not upside down, right? That's good. All right. For a great friend. I love it. That's a little easier. Very, very cute. So I like how these came out today. And we can add a few flowers on here, I think. So let's do that because I forgot I had the plan of that. So let me just trim a few more of these off of here. And let's see. So I want to put one right here. So I think that will do it. That oh, I love that. I love it hanging off that. I'll show it closer up. All right, so then I think one right here. Yep. And right here. I think that works. Yep, those are hidden. And then I was wondering about putting a couple down here. I put a dimensional right there and then put a little glue on this one. That would work. Yeah. Very cute. How does that look? Very nice. And then we have a really cute back. I love it. So we still have extra flour. All right, so I think that's what we have for today. I am, I believe, going to get my kit this week for next week. I'm actually on vacation this week, and I'm hoping I'm going to get a chance to play with my kit once it comes in, and maybe get my plan in order for next Sunday when we play with Fall for 12. Oh, y'all, I'm very happy with these. I hope you like them. And thank you, Sunny Stamper, for the great idea. And I hope you guys all have a great week ahead. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Bye, everybody.